I was rereading some of the history of the impeachment clause. It's actually quite interesting. And the first draft of the Constitution had impeachment for malpractice or neglect of duty. So that was the first draft. By the way, under that standard, the Democrats might have had a much better argument. Malpractice or neglect of duty doesn't require a criminal offense. It was a pretty broad standard. It was the first draft. Then the Committee of Detail changed that to treason, bribery, or corruption. So that's the second version of the impeachment language. Then the Committee of 11 changed that just to treason or bribery, so they took out corruption. Then during the constitutional debates, George Mason stood up and objected. And he said, impeachment for just treason or bribery, that's too narrow. And so George Mason proposed adding maladministration, so that the clause would have read treason, bribery, or maladministration. And you know, Siri didn't understand it when George Mason said and I'm actually gratified to know that Siri is a Madisonian. Because when George Mason proposed this, James Madison stood up and objected. And he said, and I'm going to quote from him, James Madison said that maladministration was, quote, so vague a term that it would be equivalent to a tenure during the pleasure of the Senate. So Madison argued against maladministration. They struck maladministration, and they replaced it with other high crimes and misdemeanors. That's the history of the clause. Now, why is that relevant? Because the House Democrats' argument is essentially maladministration. They don't like the job Donald Trump is doing as president. They disagree with his policies. They disagree with just about everything about him. Well, you know, look, there is a remedy. If you disagree with someone politically, if you disagree with someone's policies, the remedy that the Constitution sets up are called elections. Right. We have them every 4 years, and you go to the American people and you make your case. And the Democrats are entirely entitled to make the case to the American people that they disagree with his policies or his politics or anything else. But they're not entitled to abuse the Constitution's impeachment proceeding by impeaching him with no allegation of a crime and no facts or evidence that support that he's committed an impeachable offense.